In this video, I am going to talk about stress. And you won't believe this is the fourth time I'm starting to record this video because I went into a little bit of stress. So this is perfect. It cannot be better than this because then I can talk from a direct experience of what actually stress is. So hello and welcome here. My name is Cristina. I am a joy coach. And my intention and mission is to support, to inspire and empower anyone who would like to create a life of more fulfillment, a life that it's based and it's around what really, really matters for us, what we really love in our hearts, and through that to bring more happiness in our lives. So today we're going to talk about the biggest enemy that most of us are dealing with, and it's stress. And I am standing here from a perspective of stress or about stress and learnings from my own experience of life and from my own experience of meeting many clients while I've been working as a health coach. It was kind of interesting after a while, after a few years of working as a health coach, realizing that most of the people that were asking for my help were dealing with very high levels of stress in their lives. And this stress have been present in their lives, in their bodies, in their minds for so long that they started to create physical problems. So it doesn't matter if a person was coming with an issue of overweight or underweight or any other chronic problems in their body, or with the will to change some behaviors that were not supportive for their health. The problem or the issue that they were dealing with was stress. And we know from science and from all the studies that stress is a really big enemy that we're dealing with. But what if we look at it not from a perspective of an enemy and from a perspective of a friend that it's coming in our lives and invites us to create a better life, that points and show us towards something that we have not become aware of. And this is exactly what I want to share with you today, a new perspective on how to look at stress and how to relate to it in a way that it's gonna empower you, inspire you, and give you more access to joy, to happiness, to relaxation. So from the definition of stress, we know that stress is a tension applied towards an object or a person or a situation. Yeah. And in our human experience, we can identify different kinds of stress. We have, by example, the physiological stress. Yeah, this is the stress that is created in the body when something is entering the body that is not supposed to be there, such as a virus, a parasite, bacteria. So when we get an infection of any kind, or even if we just cut ourselves a little bit, we will experience, or the body will experience a stress because it needs to rebalance itself. And our bodies are amazing. They are so intelligent, knows exactly how to deal with any problem, with anything that it's coming up to rebalance and to reestablish health. And this is not the stress that we're going to talk about today. The stress that we want to approach is the psychological stress. It's the stress that is created from how we relate to our thoughts, emotions, our life experience, and how can we see it in a different way? So attention points towards a conflict. So if we just press something towards each other, there is directly we are thinking about the movement. Yeah. So there is a movement, and this movement, it's stopped. And this is what creates tension. And if we take stress and see it as a tension that is created inside ourselves, this shows us that there is a movement in our inner spaces, an emotional, mental movement, but in the same time, something inside ourselves, it's stopping this movement and it creates a tension. So what do we actually do with this tension? And I will tell you that I got so inspired and so interested in exploring what stress is, how we deal with it, what is happening in ourselves, and how we block ourselves from releasing the stress and finding what is behind it. So I created myself a life situation that it gave me the most amazing perspective on and direct experience of what stress is. And by this experience, I could explore and go inside to see that in the moment when this tension appears in ourselves, no matter if we are aware of it or not, the first tendency that we all have is to stop it, is to resist it even more. So we apply tension and resistance to the tension that it's in itself an expression of resistance inside ourselves. And this is the way that we build stress layer on layer on layer, and we totally block ourselves from the ability of realizing or finding our solution out of it. So the first step in dealing with stress is to become aware of the fact that we are stressed. And if you have people in your life close to you, people that you have intimacy, because those are often the situations where we go into more stress, when we become very intimate, very vulnerable, very soft, and go inside ourselves when we are in love or when we are in a very critical situation in our life. And you may have seen people that are very stressed and you ask them, are you stressed? What's going on? No, no, no. This is the first response that most of us will have. And this is the expression of resisting the resistance to the movement. So the first step for each and one of us is to become aware of how do we actually deal with stress? What are our strategies? How do we try to manage our lives and keep ourselves safe? Because there is a part in ourselves, our mind, that will do everything and anything possible to keep us safe, to be safe physical, to be safe emotional, and to be into the known. And by itself, this pressure, this movement that we are resisting, and by this creating the stress, it is an invitation to explore something new. So to have resistance, to have a kind of a stop to this movement, it's a natural movement that is happening within ourselves that we just need to become aware of. Something is happening, and this is something new, something that I am not used to, and my whole being, it's becoming aware of it and saying, be careful. And this is the first step, a change in perspective of looking at stress it's a sign to be careful, because there is a movement towards something new. Next step is to change our mindset and our attitude, and to become curious about what is it that wants to unfold in my life. And let us just take some practical examples of what can happen. You have a new situation of work. Maybe you got a new task that you did not engage with before, and suddenly you are put in a situation to step up and to do something new. And this stress, it's a total natural response in our being, because we need to take a step and do something new. The same thing if you have a new situation in life. Let us say that you just got children, and instead of like one child, you got twins, and suddenly your life situation is changing. Or any other situation that can happen. You got in love, you met the man or the woman of your life, and suddenly all your life is changing. All of those situations, even if they are positive or negative, are going to create an inner tension, because there is a change, there is a movement, there is an invitation towards something new. Becoming curious about what in this movement, what is this tension? It's calling, what is showing, what is the new way, what is this new that wants to happen in my life that I do not know about it. And if we take the example with work, it can be for you to discover new abilities, to learn new things that you have not known before. So engaging with this tension and identifying what is the desire inside of myself, and what is the invitation of growth that this tension is pointing me towards, it's going to give you a total different journey in your relation to stress. So let us take one step further and see, what do we actually do with it? So what we know from now is that stress points towards a tension inside ourselves. There is a natural movement and evolution in our way of being, in our lives, both in the inner life, the inner space, emotional, mental, spiritual, and in our outer lives, how our life look like, what is happening, the changes in the relationships, in our physical environment. And this tension, the one part that wants that movement forward, and the other part inside ourselves that says, no, stop, it's not safe. We don't know this new space. And this is the moment when it is absolutely necessary to make a new decision for yourself. Unless you make that decision of however you want to engage with this new situation or not, it's going to determine how you're going to move on with the stress that you create inside ourselves. So creating the awareness, what this is about, and in the second step, making a decision. I want this new experience, this life that I have right now, how I'm living, how I'm relating, how my outer life, my physical environment looks like, doesn't really work for me. I want something new. I want a change. To say yes to that change and start engaging with it, it's absolutely necessary to release parts of the tension inside ourselves and to take the step of creating another experience. And most of us will look at this and say, oh, I'm so stressed. I have so much to do in my life. So much is happening and I'm overwhelmed. I do not know how to deal with it. I need some relaxation. And the magical thing in this is that the more we focus on creating relaxation in our life, the more stress we create. And how is it? How is that? The moment when we focus on relaxation as the solution for the stressful situation that we are dealing with, we are continuously telling ourselves that we are stressed, that we are in a place that we need to solve the stress problem through relaxation. The relaxation and stress become the opposite concepts, the opposite experiences. And no matter if we focus on the stress or if we focus on the relaxation, we're going to repeat and recreate this experience in our inner spaces, no matter what. In order to find a way out of this, we can always use relaxation and enjoyment, things, small things in life that relaxes us, that gives us a moment of taking a deep breath, letting go, taking a warm bath, smelling a flower, taking a walk in the forest, talking with a friend, being with family, whatever works for you. This is a tool, but what the invitation from stress actually takes us to is to find the place of desire inside ourselves, of what we are really longing for. So to put it in few sentences, I would say stress is an invitation to discover what you truly desire in your heart, what you are longing for to create in your life, what you are longing to experience and to be in your life at this time. That the necessity is to leave behind and to let go of something that it's not fulfilling anymore and take the step towards this new longing, new desire, new wanting. And while we know that and have that connection, this is what I really desire. I desire to have more free time. I desire to have a job that really inspires me, that really takes me out of bed in the morning and I am inspired and excited to go to work, or to have a relationship there I can be myself and feel that I am truly enjoying who I am next to this person, or to have new friends that I can share what are my true values. Can be different things that you really desire in your heart, that is tension it's pointing towards. And in the moment when we have the connection with that, we can start taking the steps towards creating it rather than resisting it because of the lack of awareness of what we are dealing with. So follow with me in this journey from stress to joy. There we can truly use stress to create more joy, more fulfillment, more pleasure, more excitement and aliveness in our lives. There is a possibility to engage deeper with this inquiry of the stress that you are creating in your life, and to make the best out of it by joining the From Stress to Joy program. And you'll find more information about that on my website, livingfromjoy.org. Hope to see you soon. Thank you.